Hey everybody, Payments Professor here, and welcome to class, or I should say welcome to the Payments Podium. Today on the Payments Podium, we are going to be learning about Macha and who Macha is and what's a Macha even. And to be able to help explain all of this, we have the President and CEO of Macha, Mary Gilmiester. Mary, welcome to the Payments Podium.
Thank you, and welcome everyone.
All right, and now as Mary takes the Payments Podium, listeners, you know we got to ask her the important question of the day, which is, Mary, hardly ever do we see somebody go to school to go, I want to have a career in electronic payments. So we ask, how did you get started in electronic payments? What brought you to where you are today? Because it's usually a fun answer to hear. So what got you started in electronic payments?
I started in electronic payments about 35 years ago, and actually I worked at a financial institution, and then I started at Macha 29 years ago.
So you've been in banking for 35 years. You just don't look like you've been around that long in all of this, and then that long with Macha too. Well, who is Macha? What is Macha? When people hear that, what's that going to mean to them in the industry?
Macha is a payment association, and we service the territories of the Mid-Atlantic. We stop off in Wisconsin and we go to Hawaii. So we service all of our members in those areas, and we provide training and member support on all the payment rails. And we are extremely fussy about customer service, member service, that we answer our phones usually by the second ring, and you get a live voice.
Oh, wow. You just actually said a lot right there, because you said you offer training, you offer member support on all payment rails. What's all payment rails mean? I mean, is that if I got a wires question, is it mean if I got a check, or what if it's an ACH question?
It's all payments, check, ACH, wire, card, and now we deal with instant payments.
Instant payments too. So things like FedNow and RTP?
Exactly. And we're real excited about what we're doing with instant payments.
Okay, wait, you're excited about what you're doing with instant payments. Now I'm suddenly a little excited. What are you doing with instant payments? What are you going to be doing in that area? Because that's new and exciting things.
Right. So what we are doing is that we have a faster payments committee that we have been working for over a year. We did interviews with our members. We have close to 75 participants. We have been doing bite-sized training on how to receive and how to write a use case. And now we are dividing into groups with our members, and we are helping them write their use cases.
Wow. Okay. So I'm assuming that's a member benefit. Okay, when you talked about the things that you do for members, that's a member benefit for the people listening. So is that just financial institutions in the Atlantic area, Wisconsin and Hawaii, or is it beyond financial institutions?
It's beyond financial institutions. We have insurance companies, we have government agencies. So it is beyond the financial institutions.
Okay, so those financial institutions, those government agencies, I'm assuming fintechs, third-party processors too, they can come in and as a member benefit get that instant training that you're talking about, that instant member benefit, that bite-sized training, the assistance in building use cases too?
Yes.
Okay, can you give us a little teaser on some of the use cases you come up with?
We came up with actually 4 different categories. One is cashier's checks, because everybody issues cashier's checks in a financial institution. We have request for payment, because we feel a great product will be to offer requests for payment for opening CDs versus going through an ACH debit. We also offer loan payments, mortgage payments, paying off a loan, closing on a loan, so the whole loan area. And then in addition to that is payroll, instant payroll.
Wow, those are some great use cases. And you came up with that by having that faster payments committee working together. You've come up with, I'm assuming, too, assistance and policies and procedures as well?
Yes, that's what we're doing. And we're working in groups of 4 to 5, and then developing the use case so that when you would like to take it to your financial institution, you have your peer group and you would modify it. We've included all the different areas that you need to consider. So we're going to start rolling up our sleeves in the next couple weeks.
All right, I got to ask too, because I know you offer a lot of different services. When you made these committees and you're helping your members in all those different areas to be able to get involved and learn about faster payments, be able to send, be able to receive, and be able to find those use cases, when banks and credit unions go to get started, I know they've got to do risk assessments. I know that when they're live, they got to be able to do audits. What will you be able to do for them in that area, maybe not just in faster payments, but in anything they want to be able to offer?
We do a lot of ACH audits and risk assessments. We do over 180 a year. We also offer third-party sender risk assessments and audits. We offer publications just in case you're not able to do that. We actually work with many regulatory agencies in the states, and they prefer to get an audit that's been done outside by a payment association. So we are recommended by our regulators as well. And then we'll get into more RTP and FedNow audits once we learn more and what we need to be looking at.
So it's on the horizon. It's definitely something that people should be looking at Macha for being able to provide for them.
And we're going to be answering our phones, answering questions about instant payments, just like we do everything else.
Okay, now let's go to that too, because I know from my understanding of the payment associations, probably one of the best benefits ever is that answer line, is being able to call and say, I got a problem with the payment, can you help me? And you're telling me if it's FedNow, and I call up and I'm like, all right, this FedNow thing, I've got a problem, I don't understand, can you help me? You're going to be able to do that?
Yes, we are.
Okay, what if it's RTP?
We will be able to do that as well.
Okay, what if it's an electronic check?
We can do that too.
Okay, what if it's a wire?
We can do that too.
All right, wait, one more then. ACH?
Definitely.
So it sounds like if it's an electronic payment of any kind, within 2 rings, somebody's going to be there to be able to offer assistance. I got to ask too, because here's one of the things that I've seen in the industry and I've heard complaints on. People will have a problem and it involves another financial institution. And let's say it's a financial institution here in Florida. You're in Wisconsin, I'm here in Florida, and they need to get in contact with that financial institution that's here in Florida with me. Could one of your members in, say, Wisconsin call you up and you be able to help them get in contact with that Florida bank?
Yes, and actually, I think, Kevin, what we are busy answering questions on is fraud right now, and especially check fraud. And so, like yesterday, I had one of my members call and say, we got an altered check, it's out of the time period, what do I do? And you have to go direct. So our staff sits on many national committees. We participate in council, in Macha, we participate in ECHO, the Faster Payments Council. So I have check contacts for this case, and it involved larger financial institutions. I have my little directory and I say, here's who you need to call, and if you have problems, call me back and we'll call for you and help you out.
That's an awesome benefit right there, because one of the hardest things sometimes is to get somebody else on the phone. But you just mentioned something that really piques my interest, and I think that we might want to explain to people that are listening. When you said that you're part of like some of the national committees that are out there and participating in them. So you're a payment association located and serving certain geographic areas, but you're also participating in some of these committees like with Macha at a national level. Like, for example, give me an idea of what you're doing with Macha, what you are able to offer to your members by what you do with Macha.
So, for example, I chair the Consumer Financial Exploitation Group out of the Macha Alliance. And for the whole month of June, we focused on financial elder exploitation. And we rolled out videos, we rolled out infographics that could assist our members, and working with their employees to work with their elderly population. I also am very active with the Better Business Bureau, and I was so excited. Yesterday, we actually had a call in Hawaii with the Better Business Bureau, and it was fabulous because we were in contact with, the police department, the FTC, all these different agencies to help resolve and help prevent crimes.
That is fabulous. So basically, you just told me you lead a group, a subgroup really, at Macha that gets to focus on singular topics that are really important of what's happening in the electronic industry. In this case, elderly abuse, I know, is one thing that concerns me too, and the financial exploitation that takes care out there for a lot of people. So I love hearing that you're doing that and involved with those groups. Something else that I know is important to a lot of people listening is advancing their careers. And one of the things I know that helps to advance careers is getting payment certification. If there's somebody that's thinking, hey, I want to get certified, what can Matcha do to help them?
Actually, we have a great AAP certification accreditation program. Well, it's a certification program that we prepare you to take NACHA's accreditation for AAP. And if you don't pass, we pay the NACHA fee.
Whoa, so that's almost like, hey, you're going to pass if you take this, or your Matcha is going to pay the fee?
That's correct. If you take our package and attend our training in person, we will, and you don't pass, we pay.
That's one heck of a program right there.
Yep. And we don't have to pay very often because we really take our training exceptionally serious. We're very, very serious about that. And then we also, like yesterday, when somebody called, he said, I need to talk to an NCP. Well, we have over 5 NCPs, and I happen to be one of them. So when I picked up the phone, I said, you got one.
Well,
So,
and folks listening, okay, AAP is an accredited ACH professional. Definitely something you want to get. NCP is a national check professional. Also something that you, if you're working with checks at all, you should consider.
and then, of course, the accredited um, risk professional that goes through NACHA as well. And I always get it confused with AARP because I'm in that.
Me too, because I'm a member of both.
So, and then we will be rolling out the new accreditation on faster payments as well.
Okay, what's that new accreditation look like? What do people, what would they, should they expect from that?
Well, the very first thing they should do is actually look at the faster payments certificate that is being offered. It's all webinars and all recorded, so you can start at any time, and there's different modules, and you can put it on your platforms for education. You can share it with your other staffs, and it goes through and explains what is an instant payment versus a faster payment and all the different rails. You got card that can do faster payments, you have same day ACH, of course you have RTP and FedNow. So there are many different, it's a great class, and it's all recorded, and there's quizzes, and you can take your time doing it, and we're getting ready to roll out module 2.
That is so awesome. All right. So that tells me that there's some online training that's available for people to be able to work. And I know your trainers are phenomenal. I love Michelle Barlow. She is like one of the top ones that is out there. And I'd ask too, is there any other things that you offer, maybe in-person type events where people can come to learn more about what's happening in the world of electronic payments and keep their knowledge levels up?
Yes, we offer our payments conference, and our MC is Kevin, the payment professor. He's absolutely loved by our members and extremely knowledgeable. So we are doing that October 17th to the 19th in Middleton, Wisconsin. We did a payment symposium in Maryland a couple months ago, and that was in May, and that was a very success, and we're going to do that again next year. And then we also offer a payments university in Hawaii, in Honolulu. And Kevin is also the MC because the Hawaiians love Kevin.
Yeah, you guys had to really twist my arm to get me to go to that Hawaii event. I'm just saying. Now, getting me to go actually didn't take much effort, but I got a feeling people are going, there's a payments opportunity to learn in Hawaii, or even that conference that you talk about, because your conference is phenomenal, some of the speakers that you bring in. If somebody wanted to learn more about that, where would they go?
They go out to www.macha.org.
All right, so macha.org, that's where you want to go. You can learn more information about those offerings that are out there. I feel like we've gone over so much, and there's just so much that's happening in the world of electronic payments. Can I ask, maybe get a little peek behind the curtain of what's coming, what the future looks like at Macha, what people could expect that, hey, in the next few months, at the end of 2023, early 2024, maybe, this is what you're going to see us doing?
I think you're going to see us really be really active with our members and helping them with instant payments. We see that there's going to be a need when we're out doing training or out doing audits and risk assessments where those questions are going to come up, and we will have the resources to do that and to help our members. And we're real excited about rolling out, like I said earlier, those use cases, because there's 300 of them, and you can't boil the ocean, so you got to focus in on what's going to work with your institution.
I can't agree more. What's going to work for your institution may not be the same for others, and that you're there to be able to help them to be able to find that. That's an amazing thing. All right, one last question though. And this has to do with, the world of electronic payments is constantly changing and evolving. Sometimes things happen for the better that you like, sometimes things don't. If you could just suddenly pull out a magic wand and say, I want to change this, I want to fix this. Let's say it's the Mary Gilmiester rule for electronic payments or something that you could do. What is it that you would change? What is it that you would implement? What would be, this is what I think needs to happen in payments, Mary Gilmiester rule that would happen?
Well, I will say that I think with instant payments, we do need interoperability. There are processors, and Pigeon's one of them, where you can do that, but we really need to have that interoperability. And if there was some way that we could truly make credits irrevocable, I think that would be extremely helpful to our members as well.
I agree. They are irrevocable, but there is that request for a return that is there and available too. So that is something great. Actually, one last thing I got to say too, Mary, you said 29 years that you've been
Correct.
leading that association. Mm-hmm. You are well known in this industry as a leader, as being able to really, I've seen you develop so many different people on your staff. A lot of people that listen to the Payments Podium are newer to the industry, and they're looking for ways to be able to improve their careers. They're looking for ways that they can rise up, say, that management ladder. They're looking for job opportunities sometimes. What advice would you give to them to say that if you really want to be able to advance your career in electronic payments, you want to be able to go to that next level, this is what you should do? So what would be your advice to that person who's now looking to expand their career?
Accreditations. If we have an opening, an audit opening, or a training opening, you have to have accreditations. You have to have an AAP. Great if it's an NCP, APRP, and then eventually the instant payments. You have to be knowledgeable and have those accreditations. And there is a learning curve. So doing as much networking as you can, getting involved in committees is so important on a national level as well, to learn and to work with others of your peers.
I completely agree. AAP, NCP, APRP equals job security, because that certification will do wonders for you. Well, Mary, I want to thank you for being on the Payments Podium today. This has been wonderful. Again, where do people go if they want to learn more about Macha?
www.macha.org.
All right, conferences in October. There's also the opportunity to get some learning in Hawaii that we learned about. And if you want to become a member, also going to that website will be able to help you. So, folks, again, let's all hear it from Mary. This has been wonderful to learn about Macha. And I know some of you out there email me from time to time, and you're looking for, additional topics. You're looking for speakers you think that should be on the Payments Podium. All you got to do is drop that email, kevin@paymentsprofessor.com. I will do all I can to get your person or preferred speaker on the Payments Podium, or to get the topic that you want to have addressed taken care of. But for now, I got to say, class dismissed.